Well, hello friends and welcome back to my channel. I'm Renee. And today we're just going to spend the afternoon baking bread. These are some very easy recipes I have for you. And one of them I did in a video already, my sweet potato bread. But my family loves it. And John said, if you're making bread, make me some of that sweet potato bread. So we're going to do that too. But we're just going to do a simple, no need, like a peasant bread. It just requires 4 ingredients. Easy as pie, no kneading, beautiful. And it's wonderful stuff. And then we're going to do a nice cinnamon raisin bread so that, there's toast in the morning. You just think of toast in the morning in the fall and you think of a beautiful cinnamon raisin. So we're going to make some of that too. And then, of course, our sweet potato bread. So, friends, we're going to get busy because this isn't going to take that long. The longest this takes is letting it rise and baking it. That's it. So anyway, with that, let's get started with this. Even though you can mix all your ingredients together, I still make sure my yeast is alive. Okay, so I'm going to use, let's see, 1.5 tablespoons of yeast. And to that, I'm going to do 1.5 tablespoons of sugar. Okay, there we go. And then to that, I'm going to mix 4 cups of nice hot water, not to exceed 110 degrees. So we're going to get this mixed up really good because we want that dissolved in there. Okay, now that's going to take just about 10 minutes or so before it starts getting nice and frothy. And then we'll add the rest of our stuff. Now with this, while that's proofing, I'll tell you, with this peasant bread, you can add raisins and cinnamon to this as well and make a cinnamon bread with it. You can add a lot of add-ins. You could put seeds and nuts in there. You could possibly, if you add your vital wheat glutens, you could possibly, or your own fresh milled wheat flour, you could make this a whole wheat peasant bread too. It's wonderful. But we're just going to make it plain today. These are beautiful. I'm going to make 2 just rustic looking loaves of bread. You can bake it in any vessel that is oven safe. A cast iron skillet, a Pyrex bowl that can go in the oven, on a tray in the oven or bread pan. You can do anything. You can bake it in anything as long as it's oven safe. Okay, friends, our yeast is alive and it's starting to proof on us. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use 8 cups of bread flour. And I can't talk and count. I had a piece of the flour bag in there. All right, there's my 8 cups, I think. I spoke, that happens. All right, so we're going to take and we're going to add a tablespoon and a half of sugar, or of salt, excuse me. And that's it for this. No oil or anything else goes in here. And we're just going to mix this because we're going to let this rise right in the same pan. And it's just like other bread that I've showed you how to make, this will be quite a sticky dough. But if it gets dry, you can add a little bit more water. If it's, if it's too sticky or runny, you need to add a little more flour. But you'll see how I do this. Just scrape the sides down. You want to mix this just till the flour is incorporated. Okay? And this is going to be beautiful. You don't want any flour left. Okay, friends, see that? I didn't have enough flour in there. I think I only put 7 cups in there because I was talking, you know. So there's our cup of flour. We're going to get this mixed up. It just looked too sticky to me, too runny. You can use your hands too if you want, but it really isn't necessary. I'm just using my little Dutch whisk. And roll it up from the bottom up, and you'll pick up all the flour on the bottom. Beautiful. Okay, that looks nice. And get that out of there without sticking to everything. Perfect. Okay, there you go. Take a look. It's rough looking, and that's what you want. Okay, friends. We're just going to cover this with a little shower cap. I love these shower caps. I got a link in my description box. These are the heavy duty ones, and I love them. But we're going to cover this maybe with a shower cap. It's going to let me chase it around the bowl. There we go. It's pretty tight on my bowl, but it'll work. And we're just going to set this in a warm place, and we're going to let that double in size, and it's going to take just about an hour to an hour and a half. Okay, friends, we're going to use the Big Daddy mixer on this one. We're going to do the cinnamon raisin bread, and I'm going to do 2 beautiful loaves of it. So first thing first is we want our 2 tablespoons of yeast going right in. Beautiful. And to that, we're going to add 2/3 cup of brown sugar. Beautiful. And I've got to get my whisk out. And then we're going to do 4 cups of hot water. Of course, not to exceed 110. So we're just going to make sure this is going to bloom nicely. And that's my homemade brown sugar. And of course, when you make brown sugar, it's granulated sugar and molasses. So I got a double whammy in here feeding this yeast. It ought to do real good. All right, we'll just give that about 10 minutes to, so I know it's alive and it starts to froth up, and then we'll put the rest of this together. Okay, friends, this is all fluffed. Can you see that in there? Nice and frothy. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to add our 1/2 cup of oil. And by the way, this will make 2 beautiful loaves for you. We're going to do our cinnamon, and I got like 2 tablespoons of cinnamon right in here. I'm putting it right in there. That's all I had left. We're going to do our 6 cups of flour. And this is full. All right. We've got that. We're going to do our 1 tablespoon of salt. We're going to throw in our 2 cups of raisins right now. I need another 6 cups of flour. I miswrote that. So we're going to do another 6 cups of flour. I thought that was wrong. And I'm going to make 4 beautiful loaves, not 2. All right. There's our... Let me get the rest of my raisins. All right, friends. You can see all the goodies in there. I'm going to go mix this up. You just want it to get incorporated and let it knead for about 3 minutes or so. And I'll see you back here. Okay, friends. Mine kneaded for about 5 minutes. And it's beautiful in here. See how nice and clean my bowl is? I love that. Okay, I'm just going to, it's a little tacky. So I'm just going to put it in a somewhat of a ball. Okay, we're going to put it down in here. We're going to twirl this around so this all gets coated. There we go. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, now I don't know if my little shower cap is going to fit on here, but we'll find out. If you're wondering where Miss Sarah is, she's spending the day with her grandbabies. And she's going to have fun with them. So I'm baking bread. But she's going to get some of it too. All right. There we go. Again, we're just going to set this right back here on the stove until it doubles in size. And that's going to take a good hour to an hour and a half. It's only like 65 degrees in here in my house, so it's a little chilly. All right, I'm going to clean up my mess, and then we'll get our sweet potato bread put together, because that stuff's divine. There we go. That stuff is divine. And with this sweet potato recipe, I just modified my Amish white bread to make it. And it turned out beautiful. Okay, friends. We're ready for our sweet potato bread. You guys are going to love this stuff. Mr. Wayna, I love it toasted. Like in the morning. It is so good. Anyway, just like before, we're going to make sure our yeast is alive. Now, I probably wouldn't have to do this because I've been dipping out of my same jar. My yeast is alive. But I want to stress to you to make sure, because you don't want to put all your beautiful ingredients in there and then your yeast is dead. You know, not a good thing. All right, so we're going to do 2/3 cups, or 1/3 cup, excuse me. 1/3 cup of sugar and 1/3 cup of milk powder. We can put that in there too. Beautiful. And we are going to do our 4 cups of water. And we're going to mix that all up. If you don't have milk powder, you can just use warm milk. Doesn't matter. Instead of the 2 cups of warm water, just use 2 cups of warm milk. It'll be perfect. In fact, I miswrote that. I need another cup of milk powder in there because, or another 1/3 cup, because I got 2 cups in here. There we go. Now it'll be right. Okay, so we're going to go ahead. We're going to let that come to life and start to froth up for us. Okay, friends. This is nice and bubbly. You can probably see it. Beautiful. we're going to put our 2 eggs in there. Okay. We're going to do our 1/2 cup of oil. And this is a 1/4 cup, so I got to do 2 of them. Okay, that's that. Now we need our sweet potato, our mashed sweet potatoes. I got 1 cup here. And then we're just going to kind of mix this up so that it's not just in one big chunk. Okay? We're going to go in here. We're going to break these potatoes up and get it mixed real good. All right. That's good. So now we're going to do 6 cups. Oh, look at there. Of flour. All right. I got it. And we're going to do our salt, which is last. Excuse me. We're going to do 1.5 teaspoons, which is a 1/2 tablespoon. That's it. All right. I'm going to take this in there, get this mixed up, and I'll show you when it's done. You're going to want to let this knead for, you know, just like your normal bread, 8 to 10 minutes. So I'll see you then. I'm going to show you something, friends. I'm going to show you what to do when you screw up. Take a look. You know what I did wrong? I'm reading along the recipe. They're usually on the top of my head. But I'm reading this recipe. I put 4 cups of water in instead of 2. But we're not going to throw that out. Not at all. We're just going to double this. I don't have any more sweet potatoes to add to this to make it a double batch. So we're just going to go with the sweet potatoes we have, but we will double everything else and it'll turn out perfect. Okay? So back through this. Here's my yeast. You can do that too. I'm going to sprinkle everything in here and mix it. And we need, 1 tablespoon of yeast. Okay. We're going to need 2 more eggs. Goodness sakes alive. Well, this is how you fix it. We all make mistakes. I'd hate to see you throw it out. I'd rather show you that I can make mistakes than for you to just throw this out because it wasn't right. You know, I'll put that in afterward. We need 2 more of these. Our milk powder. More milk powder. Our 1/4 cup of sugar. Our 1/2 cup of oil. Let's see. We'll pour it out of here. There's our 1/2 cup of oil. Let me see here. I know some of you are screaming at me. We're not doing the sweet potatoes. We don't have any of those left. We just need another 6 cups of flour. So we can do that. Okay, I got everything. Perfect. All right, we're going to try this again. I hate putting my yeast in there because I always tell you that when I bloom my yeast first. But this is an awful lot of bread to screw up, but it'd be an awful lot of fry bread, and we'd do it. I'll see you back here in a minute. Okay, friends, this is done. So, this is a little tacky, and of course it's going to be. We're going to put down just a little bit of flour. I'm going to flour this out so I can get this out of here. All right, now I just got to scrape a little bit out of here. Okay. Yeah, this is going to turn out pretty good. That's a nice soft dough. It's just not going to have as much sweet potato as it should. Now I've got butternut squash that's mashed up in my fridge. I could have put that in there, but I didn't want to mix the two. I could have used regular mashed potatoes, but I didn't want to mix those two either. So this is what we got. And you know what we're going to do? We're just going to let it rise back up in our mixing bowl. All right. That's gorgeous. Get in there, twirl it around, and see, it'll rise up in there beautifully. It's still nice and lively, so I didn't kill the yeast. Of course not. I didn't add any liquid to it. I just added the yeast to what was already in there. I just don't like doing that. But it's better than throwing it all out, because that would be a waste and completely not necessary. That's how you fix a mess up. Okay, so this again is going to go over here under the light. Those are going to continue to rise. I'm going to clean up the mess, and I will be back here, friends, when it comes time to shaping these and starting to bake them off. Okay, friends, we are ready to take care of our peasant bread. And I'm just going to bake mine on sheets. I'm just going to make two rustic loaves out of mine. Okay? This is going to be great. I want to get my, if I can find it. There it is. I love this thing. We're just going to put some flour down here because we don't want a whole bunch. Okay. This is really, really sticky. So, okay. So we got flour down. Look at that. And it should be nice and stretchy and sticky. And you can see it's real bubbly. It's beautiful. So we're going to dump this right out here. Actually, we could make this a little bit easier and put just a little bit of flour on the top of this. Okay. Looks like a lot going up there, but it really isn't. We'll just break this up a little bit. Okay, there we go. Beautiful. Now, I'm not going to do a whole lot to this. I'm just going to cut this in half the best I can. Let me give that a little bit more on that side. Okay. Pinch those seams together. All right. That's going to be a nice, beautiful loaf of bread. Look at that. We're going to set that aside. All right, now we got this one to work with. I need more flour. Just going to kind of pinch these seams together a little bit. Okay. Beautiful. Here's the other one. Those are going to be gorgeous up there. All right, now what we're going to do with these is we're just going to cover them and let them rise for about another 30 minutes, and then we'll be able to put them in the oven. So we're going to set our oven to 350. And they're going to bake for about 45 minutes instead of real high. So you could put them at 400 and they could bake for about 30 minutes. But I'm going to do it slower. I want a nice crust on them. Okay, friends. We can go ahead and shape this in our pans and get this on its second rise. This is beautiful. And it smells wonderful. All right, what we're going to do is we're just going to cut this, divvy it in half the best we can, and then it in quarters. All right. Okay. Now all I'm going to do with this is I'm just going to shape this. See, just like so. I'm just going to go in these beautiful bread pans. Just get them good and shaped. You can see what I'm doing there. Beautiful. Okay. I'm just going to roll it all up. These are going to be wonderful. You could use a rolling pin if you want, but I'm not. I'm just shaping it nicely, just like so. Beautiful. All right. See those? Those are gorgeous. We're just going to cover those up. And we're going to leave them set right here because our I hate when I draw a blank. I just hate that. Our sweet potato bread. Yeah, that's it. Our sweet potato bread has got to rise a little more. So I'm just going to cover these up, clean up the mess. And after 30 minutes, I'll be back when we're ready to get our rustic bread in the oven. Okay, friends, these are ready to go in the oven. And I will get them baked off.
Hello, friends.
350 degrees for about 45 minutes. This one's going in my outdoor oven. Look at that beautiful dough. It's ready. We're gonna get it out of here. Get it punched down a little bit. There we go. Come out beautiful. It just doesn't look as orange as it could. But you can see there's little bits and pieces of, I gotta get this in a ball. There's little bits and pieces of sweet potatoes all through it. All right. So, same thing. I'm just going to shape this. There's a nice loaf. This is so easy to do, friends. Just tuck in the ends, pinch the seams, get it as even as you can. Beautiful. Nice. You can use a rolling pin if you want, but I just do with my fingers. I just stretch it the best that I can. All right. We're just going to start rolling it. Stretch it out. Roll it the rest of the way. Tuck our ends in. And then pinch the seal. Roll it to seal it. And it's beautiful. Make sure it's nice and even. And there's some beautiful dough. All right. Beautiful. That's ready. We're just going to cover those up right there. You can see these. I'm going to tell you right now, all these loaves of bread, they're going to bake at 350 degrees for 30 to 35 minutes, just depending on how dark you want the top, especially with our peasant bread. Okay, so I will see you back here, friends, when all this bread is done, and we'll try it. Well, okay, friends, look at all this beautiful bread we did. This is too hot to cut into yet. This is our sweet potato bread. See how good it turned out? And, you know, look, it turned out beautiful. And we even made a mistake and we had to fix it. You can do it. It works just fine. This is our gorgeous raisin bread. Absolutely beautiful. We'll cut into that today. And these are our beautiful little peasant breads. Aren't they gorgeous? Nice. I love them. They both turned out beautiful. Is that what you want to taste? Because I buttered the crust because I know you like it nice and soft. You want to taste that?
Oh, yes.
I'll take, woo, almost lost that one. I'll take the heel. This is just a mere 4 ingredients. Look at that crumb. Isn't that gorgeous? Nice and soft, just bounces right back. I squished your bread all to pieces and it don't even look like it. There you go. You try that. I'll try this one. We don't need that much butter on mine. You like that?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Nice and chewy.
Peasant bread is chewy and it's wonderful. And let me tell you, you can make bread bowls out of this peasant bread.
Mm-hmm.
You can cook, you can, it's beautiful. You can make it in any vessel that is oven safe. You could probably even make it in your air fryer. But that's good, isn't it? Mm-hmm. I like the chewy and the crispy crust. That's what I like. All right. We're not going to cut into the sweet potato bread because, like I said, that's too hot. But we will cut into this and show you how beautiful this turns out. Take a look. Nice, beautiful raisins. It smells good. Smell that. Mm-hmm. That'll toast up beautiful for you, friends. I'm going to try that little piece. You want to try a piece of the end here? Just to see. I know you will. You like it too. Okay. It's fairly soft. Here we go. This is for our family. All this bread's for our family, so. Oh, that'll be good with toast. You can taste that hint of cinnamon and the raisin. That's wonderful. That's nice and soft.
Oh, yes, it is. It's delicious.
What's your favorite? He likes the sweet potato bread. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You ate almost that whole loaf the last time I made it. Mm-hmm. It's one of those where he thought he better eat it all so nobody has to suffer because it was so bad, you know. This is good. I'll list all these recipes, friends, in the description box. And you give them a try. Just don't do what I did with, you know what I did with this? I put 4 cups of water in it instead of 2 and then just made it for 2 loaves instead of 4. So I had to go back and I showed him how we fix it. We went back and we put all the flour, we doubled it basically. And it turned out beautiful. The only thing we didn't have was another cup of sweet potatoes. So it's a little light in the sweet potatoes, but it still turned out pretty good and it smells like sweet potatoes, so it is nice. Mm-hmm. I like it. You can make that bread with squash, any kind of squash, pumpkin, whatever you wanted. It's wonderful stuff. Okay, friends. Thanks for hanging out with me in the kitchen. I hope you give all this lovely bread a try. The recipe will be in the description box for them. And I will see you in the next video, friends. And as always,
thanks for watching.